This is 5 on your side at 5. Focused on you.
We start with breaking news tonight out of Kansas City. One person is dead. 15 to 20 people are hurt after a shooting near the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. At least 3 other victims are in critical condition and 5 others have serious injuries. Any moment now, we're expecting an update from police, but Laura Barczewski has been following what's been going on in Kansas City, and she joins us now in the newsroom with the latest. Laura.
Mike and Kelly, Kansas City police tell us 2 suspects are in custody, and this all started on the west side of Kansas City's Union Station right after the Chiefs rally ended. Now, Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves says in addition to the one person that was killed, 15 to 20 people were injured. They say people are still showing up at hospitals with injuries. Now, more than 800 law enforcement officers were there to protect people before, after, and during the parade. Additionally, the mayor of Kansas City confirmed Chiefs players, coaches, and staff are all safe and accounted for, and they're praying for the victims. Investigators say this is a very fluid situation and continues to change. The mayor says the White House has offered more federal assistance, and agents are working on the investigation right now.
I don't want us to have to, in our country, for every big event, think about a concern of being shot. As the chief noted, we had a lot of law enforcement officers there today. They did exceptional and outstanding work, and I will second that again.
I've spoken briefly with some people from St. Louis who were at the parade today, and I'll bring you more from their perspective and the latest information as soon as we get it. As Mike and Kelly said, we are expected to hear from Kansas City police here very shortly.
All right, Laura, thanks. And we want to point out that not everybody who was injured was shot. There were a lot of people there today. People could have other kinds of injuries. We'll continue following this story on air, online at KSTK.com, and on the 5 on Your Side app. And of course, there will be a lot more tonight at NBC Nightly News after our newscast.
New tonight, St. Louis police say a mother and daughter from Chicago are dead after a crash downtown. It happened blocks from Enterprise Center, where the victims were attending the Drake concert. Tonight, we're learning more details about the crash and the driver who police say caused it.
Our Holden Kerwicki is live downtown with the latest on all this. Holden.
Well, Mike, Kelly, the crash happened behind me at the intersection of 18th and Olive. That's just a block away from SLMPD headquarters. And according to police, that may have actually helped them in their investigation, since there's actually a real-time crime camera on the intersection behind me. Now, according to St. Louis police, at 12:31 this morning, the driver of a Jeep Cherokee was speeding down Olive when they ran a red light, sideswiped an SUV, and caused the Jeep to hit a woman and her daughter who were crossing the street. The impact threw the mother and daughter onto the curb while the Jeep continued on and slammed into yet another SUV. Sadly, both that mother and daughter were killed. 3 others were taken to the hospital. Those who live and work in the area told me today that it's common to see people speeding through this intersection.
Cars are constantly zooming, so I have to be very conscientious not to be texting or messing with my phone.
I had a right away, and they still go. I didn't caught myself like, hey, you don't see me? You got a red light. I got a green one. Slow down, stop.
At this time, the driver of that Jeep Cherokee is currently in the hospital being treated for their injuries and have yet to be charged for this crash. I'll have more on this developing situation coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in downtown St. Louis, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on Your Side.
And we have another developing story out of St. Louis. An off-duty police officer is now out of the hospital after he was shot. It happened early this morning on North Broadway. He and 2 others were at a private business when they saw people outside breaking into cars. The suspects fired, hitting the officer in the back and grazing him in the head. This morning, U.S. Marshals were tracking a stolen car related to that crime on Lexington Avenue. They opened fire on a suspect. Police say that suspect was either shot in the hand or hurt while trying to run off. 4 people connected to both incidents are now in custody. Authorities still investigating.
We have a tragic update from the Metro East. We have learned the 13-year-old who was shot in Alton has died. Renaya Stewart was on the porch when a bullet hit her. Tonight, loved ones are reacting to the tragedy, and Justina Coronel is live from Alton with more on this tragedy. Justina.
Renaya Stewart was fighting for her life for more than a week. Unfortunately, we learned she passed away yesterday. I'm told she had severe brain damage and was on life support. The shooting happened on February 3rd at a home near the intersection of Highland Avenue and Silver Street. The victim's cousin tells me Stewart was at their family member's house and was on the phone on the porch when the shooting happened. Now, 3 people are charged: 19-year-old Alvin Perry, 19-year-old Rashawn Colvin, and 24-year-old Keith Sanders. Madison County prosecuting attorney said the charges would be amended due to Stewart's death. Now, her cousin said the two were close since they're just 2 years apart. She's in disbelief over the loss.
She's very fun to talk to. She's very goofy. She's only 13. She still had years to find out what she wanted to be in life. She had so many things to learn.
There is a GoFundMe for Stewart's family. If you're wanting to help in any way, you can head to our website, KSTK.com, and go to the section as seen on TV and find that link. Reporting in Alton, Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
Today we learned the identities of 2 people found dead inside a home in Baldwin. They are Mary Monson and her son, John Monson Jr. Their bodies were found inside their home on Sunny Slope Drive last month. The medical examiner's office says they had been dead for at least 2 weeks. We're still waiting on autopsy results. The medical examiner says there are no obvious signs of trauma, and so far the deaths do not seem suspicious. Now to our weather first forecast. It has been a lovely Valentine's Day.
It has, Mike Bush. Let's check in with meteorologist Gary Frank. It's a beautiful night to go to dinner with your special Valentine.
Yeah, maybe not warm enough to be on the patio, but still very pleasant. We're not to that point in the year yet, but it's still very pleasant outside with a lot of sunshine here as we enjoy these later sunsets as it gets closer to about 6:15, 6:20 where it's fully dark. We know the sunset's not quite there yet, but temperatures are well above average. Our averages so far in the mid-40s, we're way above that, and temps at 63 in Creve Coeur. And you look at this entire air mass, it's been that way. It started to warm up, but the cold air is behind it. So is some rain and snow, and that's what we'll look at. That's really not going to be the system that impacts us here in the short term, but it will provide at least an opportunity for rain, at least after midnight. I think temps don't fall a lot, mid-40s overnight, but I think overall what we're going to continue to see is temperatures fall into the mid-40s as clouds increase, our next chance for rain. We'll talk about that opportunity and when we'll see that rain transition to snow here within the next couple of days.
All right, thanks, Gary. Well, if you can't get married by Elvis, a St. Louis County Circuit Court judge is certainly the next best thing. Every Wednesday is Wedding Wednesday at the courts, but today was a little extra special. Valentine's Day should be an easy anniversary to remember, of course, and Tracy Henson talked to couples who tie the knot on this Wedding Wednesday.
I'm a jury of 1 today, and I find everybody guilty of love on all counts.
As a judge of the state of Missouri, I am happy to pronounce that you're lawfully married. Congratulations.
Thank you. Meet newlyweds Kathleen McInnes and Timothy Edward Miller. They talked to me before their court appointment.
We could get married on Wednesday, so we picked Wednesday since it's Valentine's Day and figured it's a nice day to get married on.
And why not, right?
Exactly.
Why not?
Abigail Lavati and Ian Thomas said, "Why not?" And I do too.
Kept pushing things back and back and back, and I had some vacation coming up, and so it just kind of all worked out. We thought it was a little corny, but, you know, I'll never forget the date, so that works out.
An easy date to remember and an easy ceremony, too.
I can get you married in about 45 seconds, but if there are rings to be exchanged, it's going to take a full minute.
It's probably one of the cheapest weddings you're going to get, too. Once you pay for the license, you can get married in court for free. Tracy Henson, 5 on your side.